Okay, Math 2, Unit 4, semester final review. So we're going to start with a mid segment of a triangle. Okay, so I'd like everyone to draw a triangle. And the mid segment, guess where it goes? In the middle. Okay, now when you have a mid segment of a triangle, that means that this point over here is in the middle and this point over here is in the middle, which means that these two lengths are equal to each other and these two lengths are equal to each other. Okay? Also, these lines are parallel. So remember when you have these arrows on there, it means that they are parallel. Okay? Another important thing to know is that this segment right here, this would be labeled as X, and this bottom portion right here would be labeled as 2X. Very good. So that means if I told you that the mid segment X equaled 5, could you tell me what the length of the base was? Good. This base would be 10. Make sense? Okay. So this is just kind of giving you information, all right? This is going to help you when you're doing your homework. Perpendicular bisectors. So we are going to draw a triangle for each one of these terms. Does anybody remember what a perpendicular bisector looks like? Okay, it's going to be a straight line going down, and perpendicular means what? So that means these are 90-degree angles down here. And then what does bisector mean? Cuts these two sides in half. So this line right here, that is your perpendicular bisector. So we need to remember that perpendicular means 90-degree angles. Okay, and when you hear bisector, that means that you are going to get equal parts, or we can put equal segments. Okay, questions there? All right, median, we're going to draw another triangle. Anybody know what the median does?
In the middle somewhere.
Very good. So you draw a line here. That is the median. But it doesn't say perpendicular bisector, so it doesn't necessarily make 90-degree angles. But a median is in the middle, and so that means that it cuts that into equal parts. So we're going to put here that we cuts the base in half, if you want to, or in equal parts. All right, any questions there? All right, altitude. We're going to draw another triangle. Anybody remember what altitude does? Okay, in math, in geometry.
Wait, what were we watching?
Okay, so the altitude, again, it's a line going from the vertex down to the other side, and altitude always makes a 90-degree angle. So, or we could say a perpendicular segment. So I'm going to put perpendicular segment from a vertex on the opposite side. And we understand that the vertex is like any point, you know, on the triangle. Any of the end point here. These are the vertex. So it just makes a perpendicular line, but it doesn't always make equal parts. Okay? And so if we kind of go back and look at these, a perpendicular bisector gives you the perpendicular and the equal segments, where the median just gives you two equal segments and the altitude just gives you the perpendicular. Does that make sense? Do we have questions? All right. Inequalities in triangles. Okay? One thing that you need to remember is that the biggest angle is across from the biggest side. Okay, so if we had a triangle here, and I'm just going to label it as 30, 50, and 100. And if, let's label this as A, B, C. Which side is the biggest? Very good. So this right here is our angle, and across from that angle is the largest side, and that largest side would be AB. So my biggest angle, or biggest side, sorry, is AB. Okay. All right, thank you for being quiet. I understand people are leaving, that's fine. All right, the last thing there,
Wait, so the homework is
the worksheet I handed to you.
okay, cool.
For three lengths to form a triangle, the sum of the smallest two lengths must be greater than the third length. So we're going to do a couple examples. So I have an example. Let's say the triangle is a 2, 4, 5 triangle. Could this be a triangle? So we want to say yes or no. Is it a triangle? No, is it not? So again, if you read this, the smallest two lengths must be greater than, or the sum of the smallest two lengths must be greater than the third length. So what are the smallest two lengths on here? 2 and 4. So you go 2 plus 4 has to be greater than 5. Is 6 greater than 5?
Yes.
Yeah, so the answer is true, or yes, however you want to do that. It is a triangle. Okay, now let's say we have a triangle that is 2, 4, and 6. Is that going to be a triangle? Good. So if we add 2 plus 4, and we want to see, is that greater than 6? Is 6 greater than 6? No. Okay, it has to be greater than. So we would say false, and that it is not a triangle. So what would happen on something like this is that you would have two sides like this, and the third side couldn't connect. It wouldn't be long enough, and so that doesn't make a triangle. Where this one would, all three of the sides could end up connecting. Make sense? All right. Anything you want me to go back here on Unit 4?